7, you've been arrested on a warrant for the charge of first-degree premeditated murder.
Old time people used to say, you see, you can see sin upon the boy. Boy, my granny them, you know, them say some things, you see, and mommy them and daddy them say some things, but if you really check into what they say, you can see sin upon the boy. You can see sin upon the gal. If you look at Doujon Griffiths, listen now, the man look like sin and yam him alive. All the youthful look has been sucked right out of him. He's wearing sin on his face. Tell me in the comment section if I'm lying. Look at how Doujon Griffiths used to look before, and look at how Doujon Griffiths looks now. When I saw him standing in that courtroom in front of that judge after being extradited back to Florida from New Jersey where he was caught, the man's body looked thin down, like he's suffering. Him look like prisoner jail is not the place for him, but him not have a choice to be there, so he's gonna have to get his weight up and survive back at them walls regardless. I can go on and on and on and tell you what he might be going through behind them prison walls, because I have real friends and family members that did extended time. I'm talking a decade and more behind them walls. But before we get into that though, let's get into the Doujon Griffiths story. This is a story that's been a long time coming, right? There are some speculation and rumors and streets are talking and all this other stuff. People are sensationalizing the story. I want y'all to be clear that you'll never get the sensationalization of this story from me. Somebody said, tell the people the truth, SouFLo. Doujon is a batty boy. And the baby father for the girl is a batty boy too. Them are what you call Batman gangsters. So when he move the youth in the house, his boyfriend him move in. It's true the girl find out that something was going on with her boyfriend, her baby daddy, and Doujon, why she started kicking up rumpus and asking for Doujon to leave. Out of jealousy, Doujon ended up killing her, but him shoot up the boyfriend too in the process. This is a total false story. That is not how the story goes, but people keep on leaving this kind of story in my comment section, and I don't want anybody to read it and think that I endorse that version of the story. The version of the story that I endorse is the version of the story that was given to law enforcement, or that was given out to us by law enforcement. The man who gets shot up was able to tell the story. He was involved in some things. The Jamaica Constable Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, has also been all over this story, and that story stretches from Jamaica all the way come a foreign. Gang activities, bad man, something mix up in a people don't like people. That is what that was. At the end of the day, if we strip all that away, what this actually came down to, bottom line, is a friend that deceived another friend and decided to harm somebody who was actually a help to him. Yeah, that right there. So Doujon Griffiths was actually a good friend of the individuals who took him in, who gave him a place to stay, who looked after him because he had entered the United States of America illegally and he was here not doing good. You know, some people run away from Jamaica and feel like, so when them reach foreign, it's going to be easy. I'm just going to find somebody to marry and get my papers straight. Or I'm just going to find some work and work under the table and get some money and just duck ice every now and then. I'll be living lavish. And it's not as easy as you think it is when you actually got here. So Doujon ended up on the shitty end of the stick, so to speak. So I'm the day a suffer. And he was a real maga dog. And remember me tell you before, sorry for maga dog, them turn around bite you. Right. It is said by law enforcement that it was other gang members from Jamaica who found out where Doujon was staying, who he was staying with, because them probably are running him out. Or they probably see them out because they go out and go to the same places. So they pull him to the side and encourage him to rob the person he was staying with, because the person he was staying with was obviously making moves in these streets and getting money on an illegal level. So he wanted to know where the stash was. You have a kilo of coke, you have $50,000 saved up, you have something. Them tell him to take it. and he turned on the person that had rescued him, so to speak, and that is the end result of that. Anyways, Doujon Griffiths, he stood before an Orange County judge on Saturday morning, and the Orange County judge denied him bond. He came back to Orange County, Florida, after he was extradited from New Jersey where he was caught. The family of the victims in this case have been waiting more than 2 years for justice and maybe a step closer to getting it now. Latoya Reed, who is the mother and grandmother of 2 of the victims, Masania Malcolm and her daughter Jordania, she had a lot to say. She said, I have nothing to say to Doujon Griffiths. I'm not in the place where I have forgiven Doujon. I'm still in the grieving process as we speak. I'm still angry, she said. And rightfully so. I mean, that was her only child. Could you imagine? You lose your only child, and you thought that, boy, okay, if me lose my only child, at least I would have a reminiscent piece of her because the baby would be left around, right? Well, lost the baby too, by the hands of the same individual. So she said I was robbed. And I was robbed by somebody who I thought was a friend, somebody we trusted. Orange County deputies says that Malcolm and her daughter, they were found dead in a car in 2022, and they identified Doujon Griffiths as the suspect just a few days later. They said that Malcolm and her boyfriend, who was Jordania's father, had allowed Doujon Griffiths to stay with them before their death. The arrest took more than 2 years to happen, and it came after a traffic stop last week, 1,000 miles away in Linden, New Jersey, is where he was caught. Law enforcement there later extradited Griffiths back to Orange County. Griffith faces charges including attempted murder and aggravated battery, and I did hear the judge say he was arrested on a warrant for premeditated first-degree murder. When I saw it first on the mother's Instagram, it didn't say that, and I thought to myself, oh my God, they're about to give him a lesser charge. Attempted murder and aggravated battery, that can't be it. But when Fox 35 News Orlando played it, you can clearly hear the judge say first-degree murder. Actually, premeditated first-degree murder. Right, and that's the charge we want to stick. Former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rowland said that justice delayed wasn't always justice denied. Some things take time, and it's good to be meticulous about how you do stuff, go about doing it the right way, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and bring that case home to get full justice. It's good to know that eventually, if everything comes together, the individuals are still being held accountable for their actions. Roland said that different agencies often work together to solve these types of crimes, even if it's across the country. This is what I love about the U.S. Jamaica still does not have this national DNA database setting that the United States of America uses, where out of 50 states, if you are wanted in one state, if you're pulled over in a traffic stop in another state that's 1,000 miles away, they will still know that you are in trouble in one of these other states, and they will apprehend you there and then ship you back to the place where that warrant comes from for you. That's a big flex. It's not unusual for investigations to take you on a path that could touch different jurisdictions and cross different lines, and each jurisdiction is responsible for their area of responsibility, he said. In this particular case, it looks as if everything came together perfectly to bring this individual to justice. So far, Doujon Griffiths has been extradited back to Florida, back to where he committed his crime, and Orange County judge has denied him any bond, which means he will stay behind bars until he goes to trial. And we look forward to continuing to keep you up to date until the sentencing of this. All right? Leave your comments in the comment section below. But more importantly, again, when Granny say you can't see the sin upon him, look at Doujon Griffiths and tell me if you can't see the sin upon him. Boy, you really think you're not gonna get away with this? You really thought the universe was gonna be engineered in a way where you could get away with something like this? Nah, Papa, it don't work so. Anyhow, I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.